How's it going, everyone? It's RV Foam Weather Sponge 5000. Today is February 6, 2022. As a day, we're going to focus on the next couple of clipper systems that are going to move through the northern Midwest and the Northeast, where some areas could receive over 6 inches of snow within the next week. And we'll also talk about the cooler than average temperatures that are expected in the United States headed into this coming weekend. But before I begin, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and make sure to turn on post notifications if you want to see even more weather-related content. So let's begin by taking a look at the radar for the lower 48 right now, and you see that it's very quiet throughout the United States. Of course, we saw this major winter storm move through the Midwest and the Northeast, bringing well over a foot of snow over many areas of the Northeast. However, it has moved past the Northeast and moved into the northern Atlantic, so it's nothing to worry about anymore. And we do have a small clipper system located right around the northern Midwest, but it isn't expected to dump any sort of major snowfall. Maybe around 1 to 3 inches in northern Michigan, but that's about it. Nothing really major, or not anything you guys aren't used to in that area. So this shouldn't be the worry. But what's also interesting is this feature right here, which could dump a decent amount of snow over the next week throughout the northern Midwest and the Northeast, especially if you're right along the Great Lakes, where you could experience lake effect snow. So that's something to keep in mind. But outside of it, it's mostly quiet throughout the United States, as there isn't any sort of major snowstorms that we're currently forecasting within next week. So it should be one of those quiet weeks. However, like I said, we will see a couple clipper systems move through that could bring a decent amount of snow throughout the northern Midwest and the Northeast. So it's definitely something to at least be aware of in those areas. Now, let me show you guys the Gfs model. So as you can see, there is a small jet stream dip right here that has been bringing slightly below average temperatures throughout the United States, but it isn't as cold as what we've been experiencing over the past several weeks. So the temperatures right now shouldn't feel that cold to you guys, especially comparing it to the past couple weeks, but it still should be slightly below average before temperatures slightly rebound throughout the United States, because you see that this jet stream dip, that this low pressure that's associated with this jet stream dip, is expecting to move to the east, and along with it, so will the northerly winds that are bringing the cooler than average air temperatures further southward, and we're going to see a little bit warmer throughout the United States. But like I mentioned about this feature right here, you're going to see that we're going to see a little bit of a clipper system move through the associated with that area of snow, and we're gonna see it move southeasterly and bring a decent amount of snow to the northern Great Lakes region as well as the northern Northeast. But it should mainly impact, I'd say, those along the Great Lakes or in the higher elevations of upstate New York. You of course could see snow flurries right around upstate New York and those outside those areas, but it won't be anything significant. But the more potentially impactful concern will be this clipper system that comes after it, because you see that its millibar pressure is down to the lower to mid 990s, which shows that this storm is able to hold its own when it comes to strength, and it could dump a decent amount of snow. You see that to the south side of this low pressure system, right around the Friday time frame, we are seeing heavier bands of snow develop right around northern Minnesota and the eastern portion of North Dakota. And if we were to continue to move forward, you see that this brings a decent amount of heavy snow throughout Wisconsin. This brings it to Chicago, as far south as Chicago as well. Detroit gets involved, Cleveland gets involved, and you see that even the Northeast gets involved with some snow showers. And this could dump a pretty sizable amount of snow throughout the northern Great Lakes and the Northeast. And what's interesting is that I'm going a little bit far out with this forecast. Keep in mind, right around 168 hour mark. But you see right behind this clipper system, we see a pronounced jet stream dip, and not only that, we do see a little bit of snow develop right along the East Coast. It isn't developing into any sort of major low pressure system, at least along the East Coast, but it's at least something to be aware of when we see a jet stream dip this pronounced, because of course during the winter when we see a pretty big jet stream dip, then there's more likely to be an unstable environment for a powerful low pressure system to develop at times. So it's at least something to be aware of when it comes to this Clipper system moving through, even after it moves through, because it's going to bring cooler than average temperatures right behind it. So that's something we need to keep in mind. But you see that this first Clipper system should move through right around the Wednesday time frame, bringing a decent amount of snow, but the more major one will be more towards this weekend, where we could see over 6 inches of snow in some areas right around Friday and Saturday, February 11th to the 12th. So that's something you guys need to be aware of. Now, if we were to take a look at the European model, the European model is also forecasting this Clipper system to move through the northern Great Lakes as well as the northern Northeast, but it does move a little bit further northward, so it doesn't impact the Northeast necessarily as much. But it's still bringing a decent amount of snow throughout the northern Great Lakes and the northern Northeast. So it's definitely going to be something interesting to watch over the next couple of days. I don't necessarily think it'll exactly blow up into this, I'd say, extreme snowstorm like we saw, like we've been seeing over the past couple weeks, but it could easily bring some major impacts in some areas with over 6 inches of snow, which is considered a major snowstorm for a lot of you guys. So it's at least something to keep that in mind. But there's still uncertainty with the forecast because I'm going right around 5 days out, and there could be a lot of changes. But the fact that both the European model and the GFS model are agreeing that a Clipper system will bring sort of around the same amount of snowfall accumulation throughout the northern Midwest and even Northeast shows that there is right now pretty high confidence with the forecast, and we need it, and we need the forecast models to stay at least around the ballpark over the next several days to maintain a higher confidence with this forecast. But I'd say the confidence is a little bit higher than compared to, let's say, other storms that are right around that 5 day forecast window. So that's certainly good news that there's a little bit more confidence, but there's still uncertainty. It really all depends on, of course, how strong this low pressure system moves is as it moves further southward, because the stronger it is, the more likely the heavier snow bands will develop right around the northern Midwest and extending into the northern Northeast, which would make it a more significant snowstorm. However, again, if it's weaker, then we'd expect less snowfall as a result of less heavier bands of snow developing. And of course the trajectory matters, because the European model is taking the track a little bit further northward, which misses out makes the Northeast miss out on a lot of the heavier snowfall, while the GFS model is a bit further southward, and there still could be changes regarding the track towards the northern Midwest. Maybe this moves completely far up north to where it barely brings any snow to the northern Midwest or northern Northeast, or maybe it moves a lot further southward than anticipated and encounters a little bit more of an unstable environment for this to be a more significant snowstorm for the entirety of the northern Midwest and Northeast. So still a lot of uncertainty. Really all depends on how this ridging builds right behind this Clipper system moving through, because that will determine how strong the northerly flow will be for this low pressure system to move that far south. Now, in terms of the snowfall accumulation forecast, the European model is expecting with this next Clipper system, you see that right around the 6 day mark. The European model is expecting a large area of 3 to 6 inches of snow. Chicago is receiving right around 1 to 3 inches. Same for Milwaukee, I'd say, and same for Detroit as well. But you see that Cleveland, Ohio is receiving around 3 inches, and you see those along the Great Lakes are receiving over 6 inches of snow, which is more significant. And what's very interesting is that look at in Maine, you're receiving well over 6 inches and even close to, if not over, a foot in some areas in Maine. So it could be a little bit more significant right around Maine. This is before the Clipper system, as the European model does expect a little bit of snow to develop right around Maine just before the Clipper system moves by. So it's definitely something to be aware of right around Maine. But if we were to take a look at the GFS model is leaning towards a little bit more snowfall than the European model, but they're both are at least around the ballpark. You see that the GFS model is forecasting a larger area of 6 to 12 inches of snow, especially for Michigan, extending to upstate New York as well, and a larger area of 3 to 6 inches as well. So this is a more significant snowstorm with the GFS model, of course, because it's moving a little bit further southward, and the GFS model does expect the heavy snow bands to develop a little bit more. So the GFS model is leaning towards a little bit more snowfall, but it's at least, I'd say, right around the ballpark, both the computer models when it comes to snowfall. So the confidence is definitely higher than what it should be for a storm that's 5 days out. Now let's take a look at temperature, because that's another thing that's going to be interesting over the next few weeks, because we're going to see a little bit of a warm up throughout the Midwest as well as the East Coast. So if I were to show you the temperature anomalies, let me show you this right now. Where is it? Right here. You're going to see that as of right now, like I said, it's cooler than average throughout a lot of the eastern half of the United States, but we're expecting a pretty big warm up since this jet stream will sort of straighten out, allowing for warmer than average temperatures, and this should extend to the Midwest, the East Coast, but it's not until this Clipper system moves through we're going to see temperatures fall below average once again, and well below average by the time we reach, I'd say, the 7-day mark. But you see that we should see a little bit of a warm up, which should be nice for those who have already might have experienced enough cold air over the past several weeks. So that's only something to keep in mind as well, that the warm-up should come throughout the eastern half of the United States before cooling down as this next Clipper system moves through. And as for the West Coast, you see that temperatures will remain well above average, as you guys will just experience very dry conditions contributing to the drought right around the West Coast, which may not necessarily be a good thing, but it should definitely be good weather along the West Coast over the next week. Now, let me show you guys my snowfall forecast. So this is my snowfall forecast within the next 7 days. Keep in mind, this is just my speculation, and this could easily change because forecasting the snowfall accumulation 7 days out definitely is a bit tricky. Especially since this storm is since both the main computer models have very high confidence with this forecast, and I'd say this is a little bit this does have a little bit more certainty. So, but still take it with a grain of salt. I'm expecting 6 to 12 inches along the Great Lakes. This is where the snow should be more significant as a result, of course, of the lake effect snow that should be developing as a result of this Clipper system moving through, and the strong northwesterly winds. 3 to 6 inches just outside of this. This includes Maine, and this even goes as far south as Milwaukee and Chicago. So you need to pay close attention to this over the next week and especially headed into this weekend. And 1 to 3 just to the south of it. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. This next snowstorm, it's not anything major if you're outside of the lake effect snow area, but it still could cause havoc on the roadway. So make sure to be aware of this within the next week. But yeah, guys, I guess that's it for this video. I thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and make sure to turn on post notifications if you want to see even more weather-related content. And I hope you guys all have a great day.